All right, we are recording.
Okay. Welcome to episode 145 of The Kraken Pod, a podcast for Seattle Kraken fans, those new and old to hockey, and hockey fans looking to have fun. Along with you, we try to go into what lies beneath when it comes to everything Seattle Kraken and the NHL. What's cracking with the pod? Well, for the 6 listeners we have left, we'll detail what happened in the 2.5 months since we last recorded an episode. Is Joey Cirillo still doing the pod with me? You'll find out in about 38 seconds. In the Kraken reaction, we have to catch up on a couple of things. Bye Bylsma. And a lane change. Will Lambo steer the Kraken onto the right road? And why the Kraken leadership should put their money where their mouth is. Plus, we should probably talk about the NHL playoffs. Oh, yeah, which started, a long time ago. It's the finals. Oilers, Panthers, what's going on, and our 3 stars of the week. So let's get to it. Let's find out what's been going on. Let's get to episode 145 of The Kraken Pod. Let's go. Ooh, here we are waiting with bated breath. What is up? My name is Jeff Januzik. This is my friend and co-host
Joey Cirillo. Also, it sounds like your mic kind of went out and I'm not trying to freak you out or anything, but anyways, yeah, you're good. It's just kind of quiet. Yeah, it's fine. Listen, man, it's been a while. How's it going, man?
Because I did not mess up the intro at all.
No, intro was great. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, dude, I'm great. You look good. Your head's shaved.
Head is shaved. I'll put it up on YouTube so people can see the shaved head.
Okay, I'm in a non-air conditioned office right now because home renovations, air conditioners not working.
Nice, perfect timing.
I will sweat profusely through this all, but man, dude, it's been 2.5 months. I can't believe it. You went to Japan.
Yeah,
I spun out. I didn't do shit while you were gone.
You crashed out, as the kids would say. You crashed out.
I'd like to officially apologize to you for not doing shit while you were gone. I went on vacation too. You went to Japan. I was in my house. I didn't do nothing.
I was in Japan and South Korea. I don't even know where you were. I didn't know what was going on. I was checked the fuck out, man. I was just bouncing around Asia for almost 3 weeks. Well, I came back and I had people being like, "Where's Jeff?" I'm like, what are you talking about?
I got sucked into work. You're my anchor. You're like my stay-at-home defense.
Dude, if I'm your anchor, we're fucked. Yeah. I mean, like if I'm your anchor, dude, you might want to call your therapist after this episode's over and have a talk.
Same dude who passed out in a Burger King bathroom. You know what I mean? McDonald's. That's it. Okay. So anyway, no, dude, I just I don't know. I just took the time off. We went strong for years on the pod, and that was a long break. And I do feel like I'm ready to get back on the horse. I know you are too. And I think, to be honest, it was partially like I was just kind of sick of the Seattle Kraken. You know what I mean? Like a little.
I don't blame you.
A little pissed off, a little tired of like watching the shit that had gotten fed to us. And then also too, life took over. I just was crazy busy with work. I couldn't keep up, kids, family, that sort of stuff. So I was like, man, I had to let something go for a little while, but we're back.
I was so checked out from the team. I went to Asia just to get away from them. And I still was like, I wonder how the boys are looking tonight. And by time, I mean 7 a.m., so.
Right. Well, we limped into the end of the season and, but now, as always, as the NHL season starts to wrap up, I start to go, what's going on with my team?
Mm-hmm.
So we're back at it. We're feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good. You're feeling good?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited to be back. It's like riding a bike, right? As soon as we get on here, we're rolling again.
I think so, but let's just leap right into it, because if you're listening to this, if you're one of the 6 that stayed with us, thank you, by the way. But also, all this stuff, but let's give our interpretation of what has gone on. It's time for your Kraken reaction. All right, so what is the name of the coach that we fired, Joey?
Dan Bylsma.
Good. You know what sucks is it took you a while.
Yeah, his entire tenure, his 1 year.
Feel comfortable on how to say his name.
Yeah.
And now the Seattle Kraken did you dirty, and they fired him on April 21st. So
yeah.
Disco Dan Bylsma, second coach in franchise history, out the door. He's gone, pecan.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel about it?
Okay. All right. We're getting right into the takes on it. And we don't need to go spend a bunch of time on this because this is old news and everyone's like, oh, hey, thanks guys for reporting on shit from 2 months ago.
I don't want your personal
but we haven't
feelings.
talked about how we feel about it.
Yes.
I don't think it was entirely his fault, man. I didn't love our roster last year. I've talked about how us going to the playoffs a couple years ago, I think set unrealistic expectations for the franchise. A lot of injuries last year as well. And to give that man just 1 year to kind of figure that out, while in my opinion, the front office is a giant clusterfuck, I don't think is his fault. And it kind of feels like he, ended up taking like the brunt of all of that with him losing his job. Meanwhile, Ron Francis, who we have defended, since we started the podcast 4 years ago, which is also crazy to think about, he's failing upwards, right? Like he's no longer the GM, but moves to like president of operations or whatever the fuck. And I don't even know if that's his position. Honestly, I haven't pulled it up, but he's failing upwards while I don't think, you're starting to look at his tenure and people are starting to form, their opinions on it. And it's just unfortunate. I wanted Disco Dan to get more of a fair shake. I don't think 1 year is enough time to establish any kind of identity. I would have loved to see what he would have wanted to do with the roster, but it is what it is. So we have to kind of just move on because he's no longer the head coach. Where's your head at?
I never fell in love with Dan. I think the thing with him is probably exactly how the players felt. I think you're right. The roster, as we know, not fantastic, right? Not a lot to work with, but
yeah,
I don't feel like he ever had the room. I don't feel like he ever had the room. And all the reading that I've done, all the like catching up and checking up is like, all the different analysts who are talking about this is I think that their move to bring in the new dude was getting back. Everybody's saying they do want to get back. Okay, get ready for this name. They want to get back to a little bit of the way that your boy Dave Haxtell played. And he went, Dan Bylsma, Disco Dan, went the complete opposite way. Also, worse, I've always hated that nickname. I know it was something from
what,
the
Disco
Firebirds.
Dan?
Disco Dan, hate that. I don't like the word
It's a
disco.
great nickname. What are you talking about?
The word disco, I just don't like it. I don't like.
Who doesn't like the word disco?
I don't like the era. I don't like.
You don't like disco or the word disco?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh
Disco.
My God, dude, we get it. You're from Detroit, Rock City, fucking.
No. I love pop music. I love it, but disco set back a lot of music. Disco bled into country music. And
disco is revolutionary.
70s, 80s. Country music was messed up because of disco.
No, country music is messed up because country music fucking sucks.
No, it's in a good place. It's in a good place.
Is it?
Pop country's fine. The alt country is now really the new pop country, and the alt country. Anyway, so long story short, Disco Dan, not a fan of Disco Dan.
These hot takes are fucking crazy. Yeah. These takes are crazy.
Now, leadership. We'll talk about leadership. I want to talk more about leadership here in a minute. But yes, I mean everything's shifted around. We got Ronnie Francis, who's the president of hockey operations, and Jason Botterill is now the executive VP and GM.
Yes.
And also too, I mean, look, I will get back to being Jeff Lasso and being all positivity, but a big part of Jason's resume comes from what he did in Buffalo, drafting players like Dylan Cousins, right? And Darlene. And that's not a great resume thing right there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, fair.
Long story short is Disco Dan is done. He's gone out the door. And then we sat around for weeks and weeks and weeks wondering what's going to happen. Who are they going to hire? There's so many names out there. Who are they going to hire? Well, breaking news to the Kraken pod. Lane Lambert hired as the Seattle Kraken head coach on May 29th, 2025. Here's his deal, right? He was drafted by the Red Wings in 1983, 25th
You love
overall.
that.
Not too
Detroit
shabby.
Red Wings podcast, in case people forgot.
Totally. He won a cup as an assistant with the Caps in 2018. He was head coach of the Islanders for a while, and actually they did all right. They made playoffs under him. They did okay. Yeah,
his only like full season with them, they went to the playoffs.
Yeah, so here he is. He is now here. Here's a cool stat: teams that he's coached have made playoffs 10 out of 14 seasons. Yesterday, we're recording this. It's June 10th. My son's birthday is tomorrow, June 11th. This June 9th, Monday, June 9th, he had his first big press conference where he detailed what he wants to do for the 25-26 season. And we've got it broken down. We've got the whole thing broken down. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it. I've already read it, but I'm also going to pretend not like, let's go.
Did not read this. Absolutely not. I'm
every
not going to look at the history of this Google Doc. Okay.
So, and again, a lot of people saying we're going to get back to a little. It's like Dave Haxtell tried to run a defensive system that was grind you down, but it really relied on you relied on getting a lot of shots on goal to score, and that didn't happen. So while the defensive effort was there, you weren't scoring, right? So,
and meanwhile, Disco Dan, fantastic nickname, and just Disco overall is just excellent genre of music. He was an offensive minded coach, and we talked about that, when he got hired to be the Seattle Kraken head coach from Coachella Valley. So kind of opposite mindsets, right? Opposite approaches to the game.
He was trying to show up to the drag strip raceway on Saturday night with a 1994 Dodge Shadow. You know what I'm saying? And not like a sleeper Dodge Shadow.
Great reference. Everyone will get that.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm 46. So I will be 46. Okay. I'm trying to think of a mid 2000s piece of shit car. What is that?
I don't know. Like a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Yeah. Yeah. But not a sleeper Mitsubishi Eclipse with like all the craziness under the hood, just like straight up off the factory line. Like,
all right.
Anyway. All right. So here's the breakdown. And here's the one thing I don't know. What's Coach Lambert's nickname? Does he have because I went with Lambo, like Lamborghini.
I like Lambo, by the way. I'm sure he's been called that before. He's been around for fucking forever. He's 60 years old and he has like a weird trajectory, right? Like going into coaching. This is kind of like his second time really being given a shot at being a head coach in the NHL. But I think Lambo's good, man. I think we can just roll with that.
Also, I want to give just off the bat, I like this guy because he's got the best name in Seattle Kraken coach history. I like a same initial name. Very easy to say. Not like Dan Bylsma or Dan, that's even Haxtell for a while. Was it Haxtell? It was like, what? But you can't screw up Lane Lambert.
So you think the vibes are good on Lane Lambert because he has the double L's?
Double L's.
I don't trust dudes with the name Lane.
That's a hot take right there.
Okay. Just throwing it out there.
Do you have personal experience with somebody named Lane?
No, I just think it's weird.
Okay.
I think it's a weird name for a dude.
Okay. I mean, I know girls named Joey.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's Zoe Deschanel. Fuck. Yeah, I can't think of any.
Personally, I know a female Joey. Anyway, I do not know any female Jeff. But I'm here for it. All right. So here's the breakdown. Okay. This is what he talked about. A strong defensive foundation. He wants the Kraken to be tough to play against by organizing the defensive play, right? Which is good. Sticking to a system that prioritizes positioning and puck retrieval. Sounds great on paper. Sounds great. We saw some of that last season and every season, but that's a system. Sticking to the system. Quick offense through transitions, which is what wins hockey games and what makes teams in the NHL good teams. Being able to transition quickly. That's going to take, I think, somebody on the back end who can make that happen very quickly, right?
Okay.
So he wants a team to play fast, not recklessly. And then if they win the puck in the defensive zone, they jump on striking. And they use pace and net front pressure to create scoring chances. And huge, he will not let mistakes linger, fixing sloppy habits early. He stressed the importance in this press conference of addressing issues in real time so they don't turn into long-term problems. And that's something that's interesting is...
Sounds like he's just describing coaching.
He is.
Okay.
He is, totally. But maybe...
It's like, I'm going to teach these kids how to do stuff. It's like, holy shit, dude, fucking here you go.
Well, have you, and I'm not saying you've experienced this, but somebody who's like yourself and myself who's been in a long-term relationship for a long time there's a lot of problems get addressed up front, but there are problems. There are issues that kind of bubble in the background.
I'm perfect. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. And then at some point there's a boiling point. And something explodes, And there you go. Then there's like, oh, I can't believe that. And it just happens. It's natural. Anybody who says that they don't have those sorts of issues and they've been in a long-term relationship for more than a year is a liar.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I'm just not trying to be conspiracy theory here. I'm not trying to, push buttons, but I kind of am. Is what if that's referencing the bullshit that's been going on behind the scenes? What if Dan Bylsma, Dave Haxtell, after he lost control of the room, what if this shit was going on and things weren't getting addressed? And what happens over time? It leads to animosity. It leads to just weirdness in the locker room. And maybe he brought that up to say, like, we're just going to get that shit out there right away. We're not going to deal with bullshit. We're not going to deal with bullshit that a lot of the other teams deal with in the NHL. Like the Vancouver Canucks dealt with this season with all the trades. They had to trade away because everybody hated each other and they were fighting in brothers and sisters in the locker room and being bitches, to be, frank. So maybe he's poking at that. What do you think? Do you think, or is he just saying, I'm going to coach people?
I don't know what you just did, but your mic just sounded great.
Oh.
No, I mean, listen, I know that you love a conspiracy, and I love a good conspiracy too. I don't think this has anything to do with it. I think it'd be really weird for a head coach to go in there and at an introductory press conference start throwing like some shade at past people in the organization. I just think that this is his coaching philosophy, and like he has to say something. Like these press conferences happen, right? Like you're not going to hire a new head coach and not introduce that individual, to the media. And they're going to go out there and do their thing. And while it's nice to read about, what he wants to emphasize in the game, a lot of it I just read as blah, blah, blah coach speak. Like at the end of the day, for me, like the proof is in the pudding, man. Like I want to see what he does with this organization. So I don't know. This stuff is all like pretty cookie cutter. Again, I like taking away his philosophies, but at the end of the day, some of it, he was just describing what a fucking coach does. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like this is what you do with players. You want to correct mistakes. You want to address things, right? Like, so I don't know, man. I don't have any like huge takeaways from it. I think it is the biggest thing for me is the pendulum has swung in the opposite direction in terms of coaching styles. You had Dan Bylsma, who I can finally pronounce his last name kind of, who was, a very offensive minded coach. And this guy's coming in and he wants all defense, well, not all defense, but big emphasis on the defense and team play and grit. And, and he wants a team to be able to get out in transition as a result of that good defense. Now, that is a team that I would really enjoy watching. Do the Seattle Kraken have that roster and capability of doing those things? I am not sure. But I'm curious to see as to what happens with this team. And also, I don't think it's a coincidence, with his ties to other NHL teams and some stuff looming. And the biggest thing for me is I wonder if they're going to use the relationship that he had while he was in Toronto as an assistant to be able to get Mitch Marner to come over to the Seattle Kraken. And I know for a fact that Jordan Eberle was consulted when they were looking at him, and he vouched for him when they spent time together when he was with the Islanders. So I don't think it's a coincidence that he has ties to that organization and that there's been a lot of rumors circling about Marner and Toronto. I mean, he's fucking gone. I mean, everyone knows that he's gone. But anyways, I'm just spewing a lot of shit out right now. Did you have any big takeaways or anything from this presser that like really stood out to you?
Two things. He actually addressed something specific, which I love. Now, this is just, words. It's not actual actions.
Yeah.
But when the schedule comes out for 25-26, the first thing I'm going to look up is what is our first back-to-back? What is our first back-to-back? 2 nights in a row. What is that? That's how I'm going to judge him, because he specifically said, hey, we struggled on the second night of back-to-backs, which every Seattle Kraken fan knew. I should have bet on some losses there, but I
did like him addressing that as well. I did do that.
So I do like that. So that's the one thing that he brought up.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really great. So
yes.
I also too, I do like, Dan Bylsma has had some winning. Dave Haxtell didn't win a bunch. This guy does have in his pedigree winning. winning 10 out of 14 seasons where he's coached in some capacity in the NHL, that's winning. That works. So there's something there. So far, his vibes to me, I like them. You're exactly right. 88% of the stuff that he said in the press conference yesterday was just, hey, I'm the new coach. I'm going to say coach things. Also, here's a couple of other things, and that's it. So now you touched on free agency and what's going on. I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, something that I've been thinking about is like, the leadership of this team, they keep saying shit, and they have to show me in the next 2 months.
Sound like you're getting emotional.
I am getting emotional, but they keep telling me, and I'm saying me as in general, you and you listening, you're telling us as Seattle Kraken fans, hey, we are taking this seriously. This is not a rebuild. We want to win now. We want to make things happen. So they brought in a guy who did not make people excited.
Yes.
But the more I get to understand who he is, Lane Lambert, I like it. I'm with it. Also, I have to go with it because I'm not in management, so I got to. It's
happening regardless. Yeah,
I got to ride with this decision. Okay, yeah. It is happening. Like family movie night, there's always somebody who's not happy with the choice. Guess what? Tonight we're watching Goonies. Okay, when you get to the sloth scene, you're 8. You're gonna freak out. Sorry. All right, it's gonna happen. So we're riding with this dude, but the more I listen to him, the more I look into him, actually researching him for this episode, I like it. Now, the management team has got to show me that they are going to draft well and make some damn moves. They have to make some damn moves because, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe in the blur of the last 2.5 months, Joey, where I just was like off in la la land, maybe I heard things wrong, but I have heard them say as they've restructured roles, they keep telling us that they want to win now. It's not a rebuild. Is that correct? Have you heard that?
Correct.
So that to me means they got to make some big moves in this offseason or make a bunch of good moves and maybe get rid of some people, bring in some new fresh blood, maybe make a big splash. I will shit if Mitch Marner comes to the Kraken. Okay. That would be fantastic.
Stamping that. Go ahead. Continue.
I love that. I will. Well, I do that daily, so I will do that for sure. But
you're a healthy 46-year-old.
I am. I eat a lot of fiber. Got to pay attention to that post 40. Really do. But I'm just saying this is like Mitch Marner would say a lot, but I have my doubts about it. The rest, though, they have to draft well. They have to talk about who they're bringing up this season. They got to go with the youth. They got to do. I just need to see some moves in this offseason to say we're not going to start the season just hinging our 25-26 season on hope with a new coach and new vibes. Because guess where vibes have gotten us in the past 3 years, right? It's playing golf early. So I want the leadership to show me some moves in the offseason that gets me excited. I'm starting to feel good about this coach. I can feel the vibes starting to grow, but they got to do their thing, and they better do it.
Do you think that the lackluster response to him being hired had anything to do with all the Rick Tocchet rumors to Seattle?
Oh, totally. Because here's the thing. Just like I love a big name player coming to my team. Like I love it. Even if it's not the right person, the right fit for the team, it just makes me excited. It's sports. It's exciting. You want to hear about Rick Tocchet, the analyst, the guy who did great things with the Canucks, who's had, a storied career in the NHL. Like, yes, he's larger than life. He's a personality. Of course I want that as a coach. So when I heard about Lambo, it's like, who the hell is this dude?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, actually, yeah. Okay. So in the more I research, so it's great. Yeah. You want something sexy to happen. There's nothing sexy about the Seattle Kraken. You know what I mean? So you want your team to be relevant and you want your team to like go into the season with some buzz.
Yeah.
And they got to make some moves in the offseason that gets that buzz going. It's not Lane Lambert, although I think that's a smart move. So
okay,
we need a sexy move or two in the offseason to get people fired up. and to buy these really expensive tickets to go to games.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. It was interesting. I was reading, and these are all like unsubstantiated rumors, but I was reading something along the lines of the individual or individuals that the Seattle Kraken were interviewing for the head coaching job, and Talkit was specifically mentioned. A big reason why he rather chose not to come is because he wanted to bring in his whole entire staff in Seattle, and the Seattle Kraken were like, we're not going to clean house and let you come in here and do that. I know it doesn't matter because he didn't end up here, but I thought that was an interesting thing that I read.
Yeah, you know what? And I actually like Jessica Campbell. I think that I want to see how she does with Lane Lambert.
She was specifically mentioned in that too, yeah.
Right, and like they kept her around for a reason because I think I like her as a coach. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just the whole like, oh look, a female assistant, first female assistant in the NHL. That's great. No, she's a damn good coach. She's good. I like her. She knows her hockey, and there were some decent flashes of offense. And again, we referenced what was it, Mitsubishi? I mean, she was working with a Mitsubishi, but I want to see what happens. I like her energy, and I like what she does. I think she's a good coach. So, I'm all for it. But
one quick note, just regarding the coaches, I don't like them getting rid of Briere, goaltending coach.
The goaltending coach.
That was kind of a crazy fucking move, man. I mean, I don't know. I saw, look at Joey Decord's season. What is he supposed to do with the Grubauer situation? You're kind of just slotting guys in and out. And I think overall he did a pretty decent job. And to see him get released, which, by the way, that happened a couple days ago, so this is still relevant news. I don't know. I thought that, and it kind of went under the radar, right? Like you just see like a tweet in the middle of the day. You're like, wait, what just happened? So I don't know. I think he'll be missed in Seattle. Obviously, I want them to hire someone good for that position. I don't want them to bring in someone shitty. I was surprised by the decision to let him go.
I don't know enough about him, and I don't know how tight he is with Joey. That brought up a couple of cool things. Congrats to Team USA. Joey Decord won gold a month ago, which was fantastic at the Worlds. That was so cool. So good he's fired up coming to the season. I don't know the relationship with him and coach. It does suck to see that because we know we don't want to mess with Joey's game because he's great. He's a young stud in training when it comes to being a goaltender.
Yeah.
But that does bring up something is like we have to address the Grubauer thing. We have to address that. It's got to be like, hey, this is Joey Decord's team. However they deal with it, they have to deal with it. So like, are they going to, buy him out? Probably not. What are they doing? But they have to somehow address either directly or indirectly what they're doing in goal. And I think the easiest way is just to like officially say Joey Decord is our starter. He's our guy.
Yeah.
And they totally need to do that because Joey is feeling great. He's on top of the world, having a great offseason, and we want this dude coming in hot. And I really do think that he has a chance because he is arguably one of the better goaltenders in the NHL, one of the top goaltenders in the NHL, top 15 at least.
Yeah, top 10.
Right? Top 10. Statistically, there's Statman.
With back, baby. Pro Joey pod. Let's go.
I want him fired up. I want him feeling 15 feet tall, and I want him crushing it. So that's another management thing that has to happen this offseason is what are they doing in goal? They better make it clear.
Well, that's it's an exciting offseason coming up, and I'm pumped for it, but it's not the offseason yet. And I know this is getting away from the Kraken reaction, but we are still in the season. It's the Stanley Cup final. We need to talk about this. Let me get your thoughts right now. Florida's up 2-1 on Edmonton as you and I speak. I think by the time this episode comes out, they play again for game 4. What are your overall thoughts in this series? Who did you take in this series? And let's talk about that.
So the playoffs overall have been fun. It's been awesome. I wanted Dallas to do it. Dallas ran out of gas. I think they were hurt. They could not keep up with the speed of the Oilers, and they just flailed out. But like, it's been a fun Stanley Cup playoff. My kids and I have been watching hockey, which is fantastic. So it's super fun. Going into the finals, I was a little bummed because we saw it last year. I don't dislike the Panthers.
You really dislike the Panthers.
No, I was happy for them to win last year. I was. You forget so quickly. I was happy, and I also I'm okay with the Oilers winning. And now I'm kind of pissed off that the Oilers just look like shit because I don't want the Panthers to win 2 in a row. Also, I have so many questions about hockey right now, Joey. I love it. I still love it. You know, we're playing hockey in the driveway again. We're watching Stanley Cup. But I don't know how to feel about anything right now. I don't know how to feel about the Kraken. I don't know how to feel about the Detroit Red Wings. I don't know how to feel about the Stanley Cup final.
Wow.
Brad Marchand is I don't know how to feel about him. He's amazing. I'm saying that with my head, not my heart. I don't know if I hate him or love him. I don't know. How can you not love just a baller who leaves a team, comes to a team, and immediately becomes the heart and soul of that team? And that's what he's doing. That's an amazing story. And then also too, dude, I don't know. I watch Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, who again is scoreless in the Stanley Cup final so far, goalless. And it's just art. And that's just cool and powerful to watch. So game 1, them winning in OT, that was awesome. I actually thought that was really cool. I love that. I love an OT win. The Statman, that every team, every final that has gone to overtime in game 1, the winner of game 1 overtime goes on to win the Stanley Cup. Now, saying that is, the Panthers tying it up in game 2. And then last night, here's what happened.
They got fucking boat raced.
Well, they did, but guess what? And this is just me. I don't know. I didn't hear a lot of announcers talking about this, but Jeff Skinner, the Oilers goaltender, terrible butterfly goalie. The puck enters the zone and he is down on his knees. And I'm not going to make any jokes about that, but that he literally just if you go back and watch every Panthers goal from last night, where did it go? Unless they had him stretched, going side to side across the ice. But
going 5-hole on him.
No, they were going top shelf.
Oh, so I was drinking when you asked.
Okay. That's my boy. He's back, baby.
Your anchor's here. I'm here.
The anchor. Bro Joey Pod. No, they know to shoot high on him. They know to pick the corners, and they're picking the corners. They're NHL players. They can pick the corners like my son picks his nose. It's a problem. He's got to stop. Anyway, I'm selling him out. I pick my nose too. It happens. It's
his birthday tomorrow. I'll be easy on him.
Yeah, I know. I got to. He's having a day tomorrow. I'll be good. But anyway, they switched goals last night. I don't know if you go back. I don't know if you go back to Skinner. I think you got to stick to your decision, and you got to go with your gut. He looked shitty, and the goals that the Panthers scored in this series, I think most of them have gone over the shoulder of Jeff Skinner.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know who I want to win. I'm kind of ready for this to be over. I kind of want to see the Oilers win to become the first Canadian team in 30 plus years to win the Stanley Cup, just because that would piss off everyone else in Canada. And to see Toronto and Vancouver and Calgary and all these other Canadian teams, the Canadians, be pissed off that they didn't win the cup and the Oilers did. I like that a little bit, a little chaos. So I'm leaning Oilers, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
I'm going complete opposite direction on this. I love that there's a rematch. I love that these two teams completely fucking hate each other.
They do.
I love they keep throwing out the distance and miles traveled. I even love those little stats. And I am rooting for Florida to get the repeat because I am a petty bitch. I do not want McJesus to win a cup. I have I have a sick pleasure where I recognize how great he is. I am so fucking tired of him being called the GOAT when he hasn't won it all yet. And for me, it would just be a crazy sports storyline to have this player who is clearly head and shoulders better than anyone else on the ice for whatever reason not be able to win a cup. I don't know why. I'm a sick fuck. I just think that would be hilarious. And also, America, baby, like, let's keep the cup in the United States. Like, I don't know. I don't actually really even give a shit about that. It's just fun. And I don't want it to be over. I want this series to go 7. Aside from the last game, game 3, games 1 and 2 were thrilling. I mean, I can't even put into words how good both of those games were. The fact that Edmonton scored with seconds left in the third period to tie it and send it into overtime for game 2, I was like, holy shit, these guys are going to pull it off again. This is a team of destiny. And your boy that you just mentioned, Brad Marchand, ends up getting the breakaway and scores the winner in overtime. And he already had a shorty earlier in the same game. Like, this series has been, again, up until game 3, so evenly matched and so fun to watch. Like, the speed and the skill set for Edmonton is clearly in their favor. Now, with that being said, I like Florida as a better, well-rounded team. And I've never trusted the goaltending of Edmonton. And I've been waiting for a game. And I don't even know if it was game 3, because was Bob in net? I didn't catch game 3. I'm assuming Bob was in net.
Yeah,
It's a do or die, right? He's probably going to play every game in the series.
Yeah.
I think that there's, and maybe this was the game, but because the score was so lopsided, it didn't matter. I'm still waiting for the game where Bob stands on his fucking head. I mean, like, only giving up 1 goal against Edmonton is really damn good, but they still technically, because the score was 6-1, Florida has not had a game where they won on the merits of him. And despite them losing in game 1 in that overtime, there was a period of like 30 minutes of actual play time where he was dialed in. Like, Florida was so out of gas in the third period and then going into that overtime that the only thing that kept them alive in that game at all was Bob Brovsky's play. And Edmonton just does not have that option in goalie. Like, they have to essentially outscore all their opponents, which technically is how you win a game anyways. But you know what I'm saying here. So I'm excited for it. I want this series to go 7. I think it's going to go 7.
I think so.
It's just 2 heavyweights just battling it out. And I mean, they're clearly the 2 best teams in the NHL. They're starting to build this thing where they really don't like each other. And it's just been a blast to watch, man. And I've been really enjoying it.
I think that you're right. I would be okay. I guess you changed my mind. I would be okay if the Panthers win the Stanley Cup. You said America. I'm in for that. I was going the opposite direction to think chaos in Canada, but it's really the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think game 4, it's going to be a tight game. I think that Leon Draisaitl is going to be the star that gets that game there.
His goal in game 1 to win it, man, like, unbelievable. But that setup from fucking McDavid, my God, man, like, he's such a freak.
He's a freak. But like,
yeah,
second best player in the world might be Leon Draisaitl. I mean, maybe,
but when you're getting set up like that, he's on the opposite side of the net, man. All he has to do is bang it home. I mean, holy shit.
I mean, he just takes games over, though. I mean, it's sick how if we had 2/3 of a Leon Draisaitl, we would be like, holy shit.
Yeah, it'd be incredible. It would be
amazing.
It would be very, like, the difference on the ice would be, you'd be able to see it for sure.
Yeah. I'm just ready for the season to be done.
Okay.
I'm ready for, always love seeing the Stanley Cup, no matter who wins. I love to see that. I want to make, my son loves to see that. I want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to cash in on my bet from Connor Hellebuck last year. I need that to happen.
Shit, that's why you should have just led with that. You buried the league. Come on now.
DraftKings tells me June 24th because they. By the way, have you seen? Okay, so Stanley Cup. Let's talk about that. Have you seen how they're doing the awards?
No, dude. Come on.
Okay, so they're doing the awards. They're announcing the awards like with these cool little, like, they're coming up with stories for each of them.
Yeah.
And they're like announcing them just online in the news, but they're doing like really cool things where like they're showing up the players' houses with a trophy. And they're saying like, you won the award.
Got it.
Like they're doing tons of cool shit. So like, I do like that. So I totally am ready for that. That bet to cash, but at the same time, like, I think the NHL has done a really good job of like reimagining it. They're still going to have the awards ceremony. It's just going to happen soon. It can't happen soon enough, but like they're already handing out trophies, which is kind of cool. So
cool. They scrapped their fucking NFT project in 2025. Good for them about finally moving on.
They sure did.
Yeah.
Watch it. NHL coin is going to be coming soon. They're going to dabble into crypto next.
You would buy that so fast.
I absolutely would. And as you know, everything hockey always appreciates.
You'd be first in the queue, and you'd be like, Joey, I fucking got 3.
Everybody's printing money who bought, Michael Jordan rookies 15 years ago, and it's like just 10x its value, and like all the hockey card people are looking. There's like when.
I still have a Kraken NFT, and I can't even find like the wallet or wherever it's stored. I think I pay like $300 for it.
I know. I think the wallet. I think maybe the wallet got like totally snagged, and that went into the beer. Like,
something happened. There's like a squid tentacle coming out of like a treasure chest, and I'm just looking at it on my computer. I'm like, I just paid money for this. What the fuck am I doing? I'm never doing this again.
All right.
I got scanned by the Seattle Kraken. What the fuck, man?
Wait a second. You got the rug pull from the Kraken. The Kraken
used all that money to fucking hire Lambo. Unbelievable.
Oh, hey, dude, you got to if you're gonna get a head coach, get a Lambo.
All right. Well, he owes us beers because I know you bought a fucking NFT too.
I did. When you said that, I was like, shit, where's that?
We definitely both bought them, man. I'm being dead serious.
We did. I got like, how many wallets do I have? I got like 4 wallets.
It's in my Gmail somewhere. It's like, save this. I'm like, for what, dude? I don't even know what the fuck I did. Anyway.
Is it in my Kraken Pro account? Which, by the way, like the Kraken should totally be doing something with crypto wallet Kraken Pro.
I think they went through like some anyways, we don't need to do fucking crypto corner here. But basically, we were scammed by the Seattle Kraken. They released some like crypto shit, and me and you were all in on it.
Here's what I'm gonna say: Seattle Kraken leadership, we love you. We obviously we're ride or die. But I'm gonna say this: I'm hanging this carrot in front of you. Is if you
Venmo us.
If you don't, no, I don't want Venmo. If you do not make some moves in this offseason and give us the excitement that we need to have a good, good hope, real hope for 25-26, I will be bringing a lawsuit upon you. Not really. A lawsuit upon you to get reimbursed for my NFT and Joey's NFT.
Yeah.
Plus,
I got scammed.
Pain and suffering.
Sam Bankman freed us. You know what I'm saying?
They did.
It's like that blonde chick with the fake deep voice with like the blood test. That's what the Seattle Kraken did to us with these NFTs.
Yeah. That was a great show on Netflix. That's right. She's getting out of jail soon.
Great. I heard she's actually starting another company. So
she is. Her boyfriend
Kraken can get in on that. Then me and you can invest in it.
Is it Elizabeth? It's Elizabeth. Her name is Elizabeth Hurley. I'm pretty sure. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Totally kidding.
Something like that.
All right. So 3 stars of the week. It's been a while. I was actually looking at our notes, and before we get to 3 stars of the week, the last time we did it was when I told the story about the Verizon store and the Twitter. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
I was waiting in line at the Verizon store, and like I was just flipping through Twitter, and Twitter, X is like really stupid with their video player, and my sound was up, and like you could watch a video about puppies, and then flip to the next one, and it's something just totally rank and weird. And this all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my phone just goes, "You know who I'd like to fuck?" In the Verizon store. I'm like, whoa. It was like quiet. It was like an old lady next to me. I just kind of looked at the wall. Anyway.
Unbelievable.
Let's get to our 3 stars of the week. This is where Joey and I rank our personal lives, just like at the end of a hockey game. Here's your top 3 players. These are the top 3 things that have happened to us. Although we're kind of not doing the past week. We're doing the past 2.5 months, I think. So, Joey, I've seen your 3rd star.
Yes.
We probably could do a whole 2-hour-long podcast about this, but you're 19. First of all, who has enough vacation days to go on vacation for 19?
Not me.
How many did you buy back?
I just went, dude.
19 days in Japan.
I'm dead serious about that. I literally just went. I was like, I don't know, 3 weeks. They're like, oh shit, dude. All right, what are you, fucking European?
Yeah, that's awesome. You just played. You like literally went in and just flexed on them and said, "I'm be gone," and then like they didn't check.
I was like, "Here's my days." Like that's a month, and I'm like, "Yep, gone next week." I put it in like a week before too. I was just like, "I'm out." Employee of the year, baby. Did not win that award. I can tell you.
Okay, all right. So that's a whole other story in itself. That's a huge flex, dude. You're a baller. All right, so Japan, like
forgiveness over permission, Jeff. Forgiveness over permission.
I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of that. Dude, like there's so many questions, so much food was eaten, so many drinks were drank.
Yes.
Like what? I don't know. Talk to me about this. Give me like at least 5 highlights from it. Like, did you have a moment underneath like a Japanese magnolia where like the pink flowers were like, was it like out of an anime? Were you standing on a hill with a katana looking over like the city at night, like Ninja Gaiden?
I did do a couple of those things.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Shit. I don't know. I did. Fuck. What was it? It was Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Nara, back to Osaka. I went to some other city. I caught a baseball game. I went to where the Hanshin Tigers. I went to their stadium, like their famous outdoor stadium. I caught a baseball game there. By the way, finding your seats in that thing, good luck. That was an interesting venture.
Okay.
And also that was the only moment where I was like, man, I miss being in the States. At that point, I was like 2 weeks in. All I wanted to do was like crush a couple glizzies and drink a beer. The beers were flowing at the baseball game, but their food is elevated, man. You're in fucking Asia. So at the baseball game, everyone's eating like fucking sushi. And I'm like, I just
want a hot dog.
I just want a hot dog. Yeah.
But no hot dog, no meat heaters, nothing.
I know it sounds very uncultured of me, but listen, I was there for 2 weeks at this point, and I was starving, and all they had was like these light little snacks. And I was like, I'm going to have to order 10 things to feel something at this point. But no, man, that was good. And then from there,
big dumb American.
Yeah, I know. From there, flew to South Korea, spent like 72 hours in South Korea. I went to the demilitarized zone. I went to the border of North Korea.
No way.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Was it weird?
I bought a ball of whiskey from the demilitarized zone that they only like make in this region. So I had this ball of whiskey that I have not touched. It's from the DMZ. So
dude,
I've seen North Korea with my own eyes. And let me tell you, that was a surreal experience. I did go, I went to a samurai house and I did like a traditional tea ceremony followed by a sake ceremony. And then the next thing I know, I'm putting on like traditional samurai garb and like holding a katana. There's photos of that I will never show anybody ever because it's really fucking embarrassing, but I did do that.
Come on.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Fucking did a bunch of shit. Went to Tokyo Tower, saw the cherry blossoms, bounced around all over. I only missed one tour the entire time. Found this like bar randomly in South Korea that was just like this vinyl bar where you just write down what you want. And like literally any song you can think of, this man has it on record. And so I'm just getting drunk and this elderly man who's like in his 70s is like there in a business suit and is just like chain smoking cigs. And he's just, and he's like just pounding booze. And I start playing like Backstreet Boys and shit because I'm wasted. And he knows all the words. So I'm basically doing karaoke with this guy and we get annihilated drunk. And then I missed a tour the next day because I was just getting drunk with like this like 73-year-old South Korean man. So that was pretty fun. Yeah, man, I don't know. There was a bunch of shit. The best pizza of my life I had in Tokyo, which is a crazy thing. I never thought I'd say. Yeah, pizza.
Why?
Dude, they've mastered everything. they fucking, yeah. I mean, they're, the culture in Japan, man, like they're just, they're so dedicated to their craft. It's like, once they start working in something, that's their work. Like there's no deviating from that. Like the honor for them is in their work. So, if you're like, my name's Jeff and you're, 5 years old and you're working, at like a shoe store making shoes, guess what? You're doing that until you're 95 and you do that every day for 8 to 12 hours a day. And you just master it. And then you just pass that mastery on like down to your son. And that's just kind of how it is. And so, once they, set their sights on something, they perfect it. And I'm telling you, man, the pizza that I had over there, I'm like, yo, like you guys have mastered this as well. Like it's just little stuff like that you would never expect. Obviously, the ramen, all the different foods, all the different bars, all that shit was incredible too. I mean, I went to Bar Albatross, which is in the Golden Guide district of Tokyo, which is where like Bourdain like famously went. I drank some Negronis there. Like there's just a ton of shit, man. Just bouncing all over the place for about 3 weeks.
And you took photos of everything because you had the brand new camera.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, took a bunch of photos.
Dude, okay. That's That's so cool.
Yeah,
I've never wanted to go to Japan until I started seeing a lot of your.
Oh man, yeah.
content.
Everyone, it should be like a rite of passage. It's one of those things where you just kind of have to. You just have to experience it, man. Oh, I went to a Korean spa. They're famous for like their skincare, like their facials and stuff, and did like a 2.5-hour spa treatment in Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah, that was the most relaxed I've ever been in my entire life, and the price that you pay over there versus what you get is insane.
I was going to ask two questions, but I won't ask the other one. About the massage. The question that I wanted to ask was like, yes, that's what I wondered is like price wise, you do a 2.5-hour massage in the United States. That's like $180 or $200 at least.
Yeah.
It was not that.
No, it was cheaper. And also it wasn't just like the massage. It was mostly like facial stuff while they're massaging you. But the facial treatments were like, it was like a 10-step treatment shit that I don't know what it is, but I was like, you're talking to people about like, oh yeah, and then I did like this laser thing and then this and that. That's thousands of dollars. And I'm just like, yep, not over here. And that's why people fly, to South Korea just for those treatments. Like women fly there from around the world just to go to stuff like that. So it was very cool to get to experience that.
I think that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
And then back to work.
Rode the bullet train. Bullet train's a lot of fun. You can also just get drunk on bullet trains. You can just order a shit ton of booze. It's great.
Did you drink? Like I'm trying to think. What's like the level between 1 and 10? Like was this like booze? Like 10 be like booze fest. 1 is like New Orleans sober. Where were you? What was your level of like imbibement?
Honestly, like a 7 because
yeah.
Because, and here's the thing, man, it's really hard. Like when you fly in, so like flying into Tokyo from fucking New Orleans, you got to catch a connecting flight. So by the time you get there, you've been traveling for a day. And like we had to fly, it was from Washington, D.C. straight to Tokyo. That's a 14.5-hour flight. It's a 14-hour time change. So your body is all fucked up. And then you land in Tokyo. That is, I think, the largest city in the world. I mean, it's fucking huge. And there's so much going on. And there's so much just sensory overload at all times that, like, honestly, Tokyo kicked my ass. Like, if I would have done things differently, I would have flown into, a different part of Japan and then settled in and kind of taken things slow and just like slowly ramped up while adjusting to the time change. And then I wouldn't have went into Tokyo like coming in hot, right? Like, okay, now I'm adjusted to the time change. Now I'm not exhausted at noon. Now I'm ready to roll. So the nights in Tokyo, honestly, I think the latest night there might have been midnight to 1. Like, it wasn't anything crazy because you're so beat. And you're also averaging like 20, 25,000, 30,000 steps a day. Easy. I mean, like you are on your feet all day, every day from the moment that you wake up, which is like 5, 6 a.m. because you can't sleep. And then you're out all fucking day. I mean, you're go, 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 go. Like there is no rest for you in Tokyo. Like Kyoto was nice because there's still a lot of people bouncing around, but it's a slower pace. Like you can go down a side street and just chill out for a second, right? Like Tokyo, there was none of that. But there were definitely a couple of nights where like unexpectedly, took things up to a 10. There was this this bar, I forget which neighborhood in Tokyo, but they do like this night illumination of cherry blossom sakura season. And by the way, this is my 3 and my 2 stars, so I'm just gonna bleed over really quick. And it's like over this like canal with like the train in the background. And it's like all pretty and shit, right? And you're going, and this day was like fucking freezing out, like rainy, cold, like all that shit. And so you get there, there's a million people, and you're like, man, I need to fucking, duck in somewhere and just chill out for a second. And then I can come out and like do the pictures and stuff. It's too cold to be outside. It's freezing. And so I'm like just on Google Maps and just typing like bar near me. And this bar pops up called Hirasawa's. And I'm like, all right, going here. It's like, it just says like local bar. I'm like, great. Walk in. It's like, this like wooden room with like one long wooden bar on your left. And there's one dude standing behind the bar, like all his liquor's behind him. And he's just smoking cigarettes, listening to records. And it's all disco and rock. And he's in his 60s. He looks like he's 40. And yet all he does is work at his bar every night. And his name is Hirasawa. And that was his bar. and there was literally no one else in there. End up hanging out with Hirasawa all night. Like, nicest guy fucking ever. Spoke zero English. Used Google Translate to hang out with him all fucking night. And then end up getting wasted and then having to come back later to that part of town because I forgot to go out and do the cherry blossom photo thing. So it's just stuff like that that happens while you're there, you know? So that was like one of the most memorable nights while I was there. None of it was planned, you know, just me an awesome dude. And actually shout out to him because he just had his bar anniversary and he was like trying to get us to stay in Japan longer. He's like, you got to stay longer. Like the anniversary for my bar is coming up. Like all my friends are throwing me a party here. And I was like, man, I'm sorry. Like we're leaving, then we're flying to South Korea. And then I was so drunk at this point. I'm like smoking Japanese cigarettes and shit. And he's like, use Google Translate. And he said, can we be friends forever? And I start crying. I was like, this is such a beautiful moment. I was like, I can't believe I'm hanging out with this such a nice, awesome old man just hanging out at his fucking bar. Like just having this moment with him, like what an incredible person. Like if I ever go back there, the first thing I will do is go and visit Hirasawa. So it's just stuff like that, man.
I just looked it up while you were telling me the story.
Yeah. He's a man.
And I'm seeing he's got glasses and a mustache.
Yeah. He's just the coolest.
Dude. And like, I've been really bit into martinis and I'm looking at his martini and it's like crystal
I taught
clear.
him how to make a dirty martini using Google Translate. He had no idea. He was like, olive juice?
That's amazing.
Yeah,
this is cool. That's awesome, dude. I just looked him up. Got
just
great
changed the
reviews.
trajectory of his martini life. Yeah.
Hirasawa's bar. That's really, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
You're really
it's
good
just
at
stuff
that.
like that, man. You know, like it's stuff that you don't really plan on that ends up being fucking cool. So
I would end up at like the Chili's of Japan, I'm sure.
I would never.
All right, let's go here. Where are we gonna go? I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize that Tokyo was the largest city in the world. And then the 10th largest city in the world is Osaka. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Osaka. Oh, you think you're going there and it's going to be chill. It's not chill. Like, my God.
Dude, well, that's epic. I can't come close to that. The only thing I really wanted to say was that there's guys in New Orleans hockey. It's a bunch of dudes who started, they play roller hockey, but they're also like, it's basically a place. There are a bunch of guys who are hockey expats from all over the country, plus guys who grew up playing roller hockey here in New Orleans. They started this group years ago. I've been meaning to go play hockey with them for years, but like they're in New Orleans. I don't live near New Orleans. I can't do it. Anyway, like 2 months ago, I saw on their Facebook page that they were going to have a hockey clinic for kids here in Mandeville, like which is like 30 miles away. It's, you know, they're coming across the lake, which is like a different area. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's completely different than New Orleans. But they were like coming over to like the local park here, where we play all of our sports. I'm like, oh hell yeah, this is awesome. So I signed Ford up for it, and we play a lot of hockey in the driveway. So you know, Ford knew what he was doing. There was a floor hockey clinic, and these dudes, like, they started off as just like, we're gonna play hockey, and they go to hockey tournaments, and they just, you know, a bunch of guys, and I was very jealous, but they really care about growing hockey in New Orleans. And we've talked about it. There's rumors that the governor and people who have money have talked to the NHL, and it's apparently true. But anyway, these guys are like doing grassroots stuff, trying to grow the game. And like, it was awesome. We went to this thing like a month ago, and Ford played, and I talked to these guys for a couple hours, and I was like, I'm going to do anything I can to help out to try and get hockey over here. And it was just really, really cool to see something like actually happening, because guys who have like nothing to gain from it, like they basically got the space in the gym for free. The money that they raised basically went to like funding more hockey clinic stuff. Like these guys are just like trying to do good stuff for hockey, just for the good of hockey. Like this guy named Ethan, and all. It was really cool. As a huge hockey fan, like I was so pumped to see it. Like kids were showing up in hockey jerseys. It was like all the kids around my area, my neighborhood, you know, my part of Louisiana who were like into hockey showed up to like play. And there was like 30 kids that showed up, which was huge. It was really cool. So, you know, I want to shout out to New Orleans hockey. Ford got a cool t-shirt. He wears it all the time. We've been playing a lot of hockey ever since. It's just really neat to kind of see those little impacts of like what just like somebody who cares about hockey. It gave me like a flashback to like when, you know, the Mighty Ducks caused the street hockey craze of the mid-90s, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like neat to see that like maybe one of those kids that was at that thing who, you know, my son gets lots of hockey, so do my daughters, right? But like maybe there's a kid who showed up that played hockey, was like maybe falls in love with the sport. It was cool to see that like moment actually happen. And they're actually having another one in a couple of weeks. We're not going to be in town, or else I would totally be there. But I just wanted to put that on the list. Is like that's basically my star. Is that I thought that was really neat to have hockey in our backyard. Like I'm so jealous, like Seattle and you listening and people listen, you know, have a pro hockey team, an NHL hockey team. Shoot, they have so much hockey. They even have now the women's hockey league in Seattle. But like we got nothing here. But there's something happening, and like, dude, I'm just 5-10 years down the road. Maybe there's something here in New Orleans, and I just thought that was cool. So
yeah. What's your second star? Mine was a 3 and a 2. What's your second?
I have two things: is home renovation stupidity. The only thing I want to say about that is like we're only on day like 8 of this adventure, and Meg really did a lot of like all the legwork to like kind of set up all the stuff, and now I'm kind of like trying to project manage a lot of it. And the one thing I will tell you this is we've never built a house, we've never done any renovations like this, and we had some plans drawn up. Wasn't enough. If you're ever going to redo a kitchen or redo something that's like a big project, my only advice to you is, and if you've been through this or you listening has been through this, you're like, yes, is like have all the shit specified, because part of what was true was we didn't know what our bare bones area was going to look like once it was all ripped out. So a lot of this was like, we're going to plan for some things, but really we're not going to be able to like figure out what we're going to do 100% until it's all ripped out. Well, it's still been kind of a little bit of a shit show, because like our contractor, who's cool, you know, and they're going to be fine. And the guys who are doing the work are awesome. But the contractor's a little like not keeping some things together. And so we're like, we're all right. The project's not like spinning out here. But I'm just saying is like, if we had exact drawings of like, this is going to go here, and this is the measurement, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And like we had paid an architect to kind of make us a drawing, but it was just like just a general thing. Just have as much drawn out and measured out and planned out as you can before you do it, because that'll save you a lot of headache. We haven't run into a lot of headaches, but I'm just saying that's the only thing I've learned. So home renovation stupidity, that's my second star. And we're only like on day 8 or 9 of a 2.5 month journey here. So
2.5 months?
It's a big fucking deal, dude. Yeah.
Damn, man. All right.
Yeah. But the cool thing is like we can already see they're gonna have it all. They're almost done framing it out. So like, you know, all the studs, all the 2x4s, the frame, they're going to sheetrock it and potentially have drywall up by Friday or Monday of next week.
Okay, there you go. Progress.
So like we can see, that'll be, the walls will be up, and then we just got to fill it in with the cabinets and the appliances and all the things and that sort of shit. And also too, like, holy fuck, everything costs a lot of money right now. Jesus.
I can't imagine, man.
Jesus, like a fridge, a fucking fridge, like the 48-inch fridge, the big fridge.
Yeah, not cheap.
Just get the Sub-Zero. Like, okay, cool. Like, how much is the Sub-Zero? $16,000. It's just $16,000. We're going to go with the GE profile.
Yeah.
Which is still big and still expensive. But anyway, long story short is, again, I said at the beginning of the podcast, these are problems that I chose to have. Life is great. These are not, I'm not having, there's no issues that I'm dealing with right now that God or life has given me that I have to deal with. These are self-made problems. So I'm just trying not to drink too much. That's
there. You go. As I'm drinking. All right. My first star of the week. I'll just say it really quick. I touched on it earlier. It's just the NHL playoffs, man. They've been a blast. Give me 7 games, please. And also, it's going to go into like, you know, then it's going to really be summer where there's not a lot going on, and the Mariners are starting to tank a little bit. And so I'll just be watching them, you know, as they slowly rip my heart out like they do every year. So NHL playoffs, a lot of fun. I'm also watching NBA playoffs, but you know, we'll see how that series goes. But yeah, man, I'm pumped for that.
Awesome, dude. Last thing is we're in the middle of summer camp season, doing all this summer stuff. Ford is playing in golf league, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's really fun. He's really into it. He's getting into the golf, so we're getting into the golf. And next week, if we continue this, maybe we do it again after the finals are over. But I will list for you like my top 3 favorite golf TikTok golfers. The creators, the TikTok golf creators are amazing.
Can't wait for that segment,
dude. I actually have guys that like are hilarious, and it doesn't matter. They could be talking about food. They could be the way they do it is just awesome. It's not really
trust you.
Yeah, trust me, you will love it.
Okay, I trust you. All right. Cool.
Anyway, life is good, man. It's good to get back on the horse with you here, dude.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to think about the Seattle Kraken again, bro. I'm
not yet. I'm not yet.
Just the draft's coming up soon, man. Free agency's coming up.
Soon. We'll be watching. I'm just saying it's the Stanley Cup final right now for me.
Moves. The leadership said they're making moves. They're not rebuilding. It's good. Yep. So I'm going all in. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Awesome. Well, it's awesome. Thank you for listening to this thing. We're back. We've been rambling the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We're definitely back. Kraken Pod is here to stay. Can't keep us down. We're going to leave you with our Kraken Pod Chirp of the Week.